Yeah. What's good? This be the G Shah Cypha. You were tuned in to Underground Movers Podcast, where we support anybody that's grinding. It don't necessarily got to be anybody within the entertainment industry, but if you are in the entertainment industry, you know where to come to. But whatever you are, whatever you doing, Underground Movers want to definitely talk to you about it. Doesn't really matter. Yo, I got somebody dope with me doing some dope things in the hip hop world and music industry, not necessarily hip hop, just anything within music, period. And also got some other things going on with it to make sure that we keep consistent and stay woke. You already know what it is. Shah Cypher. Let's get it. Yeah. What's good? Listen, man, I need y'all to really understand what's going on right now. Usually, when I talk to people, I talk to artists or I've talked to other entrepreneurs and I talk to all kinds of different people who do different things. I'm an artist, I'm an entrepreneur, I do different things. But sometimes you gotta get deeper into the music industry. You really gotta get deeper into the people that really do stuff not necessarily just for music, but to make sure you're staying woke. You got the awareness of what's going on in life outside of the music industry. Social media will blind you sometimes, and sometimes we got to use that same tool to wake you back up. I got a dude right here. I got a dope person right here, entrepreneur Robb Diggie that's been grinding for a long time. I need y'all to understand what's going on. Shout out to the homie. Matter of fact, Rob, salute to you, man. You've been grinding for a long time. Talk to the people, man. What's going on?
Yo, what's good, man? I'm mad excited, man. Yo, shout out to Underground Movers Podcast. Shout out to Shah Cypha. Shout out to everybody that's listening, watching, viewing right now.
Yeah.
Man, I'm truly humbled, man. I am Robb Diggie, the host of Diggie A2, the Progression of Hip Hop podcast, which has been recently ranked in the top 10 on Apple Podcasts. So thank you to all of our followers, supporters, man, pushing our movement forward, man. And we go to continue to push the culture, the music, all the artists that have contributed to this culture. That's why I got on my Nas hoodie on. This is the greatest LP of all time. I don't care what you say. But yeah, man, I'm glad to be here, family. Thank you, man. Shah, for real. Shout out to you, man. And your Freestyle Wednesdays, man. Where's season 2 dropping, man? When you gonna drop season 2
You
on us,
know what?
man?
I'm looking forward to dropping that. We're keeping the momentum because we got our Blood Brothers joint dropping this month, and I got
What's
my
up?
solo joint dropping in March. You know what I mean? But listen, man, this ain't about me. This is about you and what you got going on. You know what I mean? Listen, he already told you. You know what I mean? What he represent. You know what I mean? Diggy A2, the Progression of Hip Hop LLC. I need y'all to understand
Word.
there's an LLC behind it. What that means is that he's actually got it business. He got his business together. You know what I mean? The
Word.
podcast is just, something that everybody's been doing lately, but you've been doing this for a long time. So talk about how the start of that came, because you got a history behind starting the podcast. So talk to me about the beginning and how you progressed to where you are now.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So, how it all got started actually was just ideas on a piece of paper, man. Shah, you know what I mean? Like ideas on the paper. Pre-pandemic, I always wanted to start a hip hop podcast. I never been an artist myself, just always been a fan of the culture since I was about 9, 10 years old. You know what I mean? Watching Eric B. Rakim, watching Big Daddy Kane, watching the Fat Boys, LL Cool J, all the pioneers that laid the foundation for what this culture is all about. And as I got older, you progress with the culture as you get older. And at a point in my life, pre-pandemic, I was like, yo, man, like I want to start a podcast, man. I want to start talking about hip hop. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I just want to do it. So pandemic hits in. And then I looked at my wife, my business partner at the time, and she was like, yo, like let's go buy the equipment. Let's do it. And we've been here since April 15th, 2020. We're going to be 5 seasons in, and talking about the true pioneers and all of the artists that have shaped and molded this hip hop culture, man. Because that's exactly what it is, man. It's a culture, it's a movement. You know what I mean? It ain't just rap to me. It's hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, matter of fact, shout out to the homie Shah Cypha. If y'all go back and watch the episode, he was on there on our platform, blessing us with his knowledge on Fabulous last season. So shout out to you, Shah, for blessing us with that, man. So trying to throw that plug in, man. Y'all go back and watch that episode. You know, two great hip hop minds just chopping it up about Fabulous. But that's how it all got started, man. And it's continuing to move, man. Continuing to move. We ain't standing still. We keep it moving, man.
Yo, shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I see them on YouTube. I see them on Twitter. I see them on Facebook coming in. Put those notes. I mean, put those comments on there so I could show Rob that y'all supporting them. You know what I mean? And definitely,
I appreciate it.
Maybe let him know, like, yo, I'm here. You know,
Amber, I see you.
Amber, shout out to Amber. She doing her thing. Supporting you. One big thing you said when you were really just telling that story was, your wife, your business partner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Someone that and shout out to your wife. I had the opportunity to interview her as well and really talk about her business, but talk about, like you said some important things there, like, yo, I want to do a podcast. She was like, yo, let's go buy the equipment, let's do it. So how important was it for you to make sure that you had the support to be able to go ahead and do this podcast?
I think that's the most important thing. Support is everything. We got Amber on the line, right now, who is our biggest fan. Like, she's there for every live. Every time I drop an episode, she is there, man. You need people to give you support, and without support, and support is free, Shah. I mean, it don't cost nothing to give somebody a support, to be on there live, and Amber was part of that from the very beginning, man, from season 1. You know what I mean? So when we talk about Jessica, her significance, man, I couldn't have done it without her. I could not have done it with all the other guests that was with me in the beginning, man. Like when I was like, terrible audio and like not the right lighting, like all this other stuff, man. It was definitely a learning curve. You know what I mean? I knew I had the passion to talk about hip hop. I didn't know how to put it together. I didn't know how to formulate it. You know what I mean? So it's just learning the steps. And then Jessica saw it as a business. I did not. I just wanted to get on here and just just talk about hip hop. And she was the one that saw the vision about the business side of it. So shout out to Jess, man, for real, for seeing that vision and where we at now.
Definitely. I mean, I know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife, I have a wife and a separate business partner that's also, but my wife has been, definitely supportive, and that's big and important. She's not really into the business side, but she's like, yo, I see this. I think you should look into it, and kind of points me in that direction, and I can do my homework. Then I got my business partner, shout out Tampa Mystic, you know what I'm saying, who's been doing it, just as long as I have. But, I started from the artist side, but she's been doing it from the hosting and the radio and podcast side too. And she's like, yo, we got to do this. We got to do this. So, you know what I mean? When you got people that are solid in that circle, they're important. And to be honest with you, shout out to the ladies, because the ladies keep us right, keep us focused, keep us in the right direction. You know what I mean? So, matter of fact, shout out to Tampa Mystic right now. She tuning in, industry's most wanted.
Shout out, man. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the love, yo.
But yeah, man, one of the things that I read about at one point in your life, you were in the military, right? And then you transition into the podcasting. One of the biggest things that I like about your platform, well, there's a couple of things I like about your platform. We're going to talk about why you do it this way. Is you focus. Well, when I was featured on it, you were focused in the 2000s era of hip hop.
Right.
But your platform or your goal is to really just put, your episodes or your seasons are focused around specific eras of hip hop. I just happen to come in around the 2000s, but you focus on, like the 90s, the 80s, I mean, you go back. So why did you decide to go about that route and really just focus on that time frame in hip hop?
Man, a lot of different answers, man. The one that sticks out the most is I wanted to be different, Shah. I wanted to be different. When I thought about doing a podcast about hip hop, there's thousands of different hip hop podcasts out there. You just pick one out of the stack. So how are you going to stand out? How are you going to make yourself different from what everything else is out there? So I said, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell the story in the history of hip hop. And in order to do it correctly, you have to go backwards. You can't start with the right now or, all the artists that are hot right now. You got to go tell a story. So what I decided to do was go back to the 80s. I went back to the roots. I went back to all the pioneers And of course, I might have missed some folks. So all the time when I put the season together, Shot, we get some snubs. People get mad or whatever. Or why wasn't this person included or whatever? So I mean, I only got like 16 shows, man. So I can only fit in 16. But I decided to focus on the artist that was the most influential to the culture in that specific era. Right. So I decided to do it that route, and essentially I call it semesters of hip hop. It's really what it is, man. A semester in school is 16 weeks, 16 episodes. You get to hear about all of the artists in a particular time frame in hip hop that have shaped and molded this culture that we love so much, man. So that's the route that I decided to go, and it's been a pretty good formula, man. You know what I mean? It's been working out pretty good. So that's the way. That's how it got started, man. Real talk.
Oh, that's dope. You also, like you said, you had me in that you had me in there in the 2000s, but you also have other guests that
Yeah.
here with you. So
Yeah.
you're not just talking about that era in hip hop. You're getting guests that potentially know knowledge of that era to really have a conversation. So
Word.
how do you really select those people for those time frames? Is you got to really feel like, okay, if I'm talking like, I'm from Brooklyn, so I had to do Fabulous. Like that was, so but how do you pick those areas that, those people to have those conversations with?
So that's a good question. So when we first started out, well, when you start anything out, your homeboys is the one that's gonna be down with you, right? So when I first started out, it was like all my army buddies in the first season. Like I was starting to meet some people here and there, but in the beginning, you know what I mean? Like nobody really wanted to touch it. Nobody wanted to be on camera. Nobody wanted to be on there except for, shout out to Will Boyd and Frank Ketchum, who was on a whole lot of the episodes in the beginning, man. Shout out to them. I could not have done it without them, man. But it was just me and my boys, man, just having a conversation. And then as I progressed into the 90s and the 2000s, I was like, all right, look, I got to start formulating and lining people up that know at least either from that area, know about that artist, or know more about the artist than I do. And I wanted to match it up. So like case in point, when I talked about, I did an episode on Common, and shout out to Tracy Lee. The legend Tracy Lee came through and showed love. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all know about Tracy Lee, but that party theme was me back in the late 90s. You know what I mean? So Tracy Lee showed love and, talked about Common. I had you come on there to talk about Fab. Shout out to Chuck Platinum from New York as well, who's on a lot of episodes this past season. You know what I mean? That's my guy, man. And like it's like you mentioned, the show is only as good as his guests. I'm just a host, and I just try to give the people what they want, and I want to teach at the same time. To me, it's about it being entertaining and educating at the same time. So if I can do the good blend of that, it's been going good, man. But we got a lot of guests on, man. We take people from all over. As long as you know what you're talking about, man, just come hit me up. You know what I mean? I'll take anybody as long as you are articulate. Right. You know what you're talking about. And what I love about that shot to go along with that is the ladies, man. We need more of the ladies to come and show their skills, man. It's like the last episode I did on Jay-Z in the 2000s. But shout out to Samantha Lavelle. Shout out to Miss Hennessy from all the way from down under in Australia, man. So two powerful ladies in the industry on the independent side, showing love and talking about Jay-Z, man. So it was great. Just like you mentioned, just trying to find the right folks that fit the right episodes, and it's been great, man. It's kind of like putting a puzzle piece together because you don't really know if this person's going to make the show right, if they know enough, you know what I mean? Or do I have to, chime in a little bit more than I want to? But yeah, man, it's been dope, man. It's been dope. And in case of point, if you go back and watch the Fab episode with me and Shah, perfect chemistry, the perfect back and forth. So yeah, when you get it right, it's dope, man. It's dope when you get it right.
If y'all just tuning in, because I see some new people tuning in, you talking to the homie Robb Diggie, got a dope podcast. And correct me if I'm wrong, Diggy A2, the Progression of Hip Hop LLC.
Correct, sir. Correct. Or right. Diggy A2 for short. It's all good.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? And he's got a dope podcast talking about hip hop. And one of the biggest things that he does within the seasons is not only does he talk about hip hop within that era that he's focused on, whether it be the 80s, 90s, 2000s, today, today's era. But he also focuses on social injustice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Each season is primarily about a specific person. I think I don't remember what my season was, but I know you did Breonna Taylor season. I know you did George Floyd in the season. So, and you wanted to make sure that like we were saying with Breonna Taylor, say her name, right? So how important was it for you to make sure that you consistently highlight social injustice within your podcast platform, on a consistent basis?
Man, I think it was almost forced in a way. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I did season one, that was when all three of the significant ones that were making the headlines, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, they all passed within the same time frame within my season one. And I would give them shout outs in the in the episodes. But I thought about it and I was like, yo, that's not enough. That's not enough, man. I got to start dedicating seasons to people to remind them of what's going on in the world. And I started with Trayvon Martin first, because if we all remember, there's been a lot of others that we've lost to the struggle, but Trayvon was the first one to really, really get national headlines. What happened to that young brother? Shout out to Trayvon. Rest in peace to that young man who lost his life way too early. And then, going on from there, we did George Floyd, and then I did, Breonna Taylor. And I thought of it as, Sean, when you get blessed with a platform, you get a voice in the world, you got to use it for good. And when I talked to Jess, and we were like, yo, we want to do this, man. We want to continue to do this. So we're not even going to stop. We're going to continue to, keep these names out there, keep social injustice at the forefront, because it is still happening. These atrocities are still happening to our people. And we need to start bringing it to light, man. And I saw it as an opportunity. But the main thing was, when I was blessed with a platform, I need to use my voice, Shah. I wanted to use my voice to continue to get the word out about what's going on out there, man. So that's really what it's all about, man. And I appreciate that. And we're not stopping, man. We're gonna continue to keep the drum beat moving on what's going on out there to our brothers and sisters, man, our people of color, primarily. You know what I mean? So not just us black folks, but just people of color that are targeted, being seen bad and negatively in the news, and it seems like it's just not people just not catching on, man. So it's up to me, it's up to you, it's up to everybody that's listening right now to keep it alive. You know what I'm saying? So we're doing it our way. As long as you do something and don't stay silent, I think that's the most important thing, man. You know what I mean?
Right. I think if anybody's anybody that I interview, there's usually something specific that they're passionate about.
Yeah.
For us, this is something that we have to deal with as people of color for a very long time. But when I interview, people, I always ask them something, what are they passionate about outside of the craft, or the reason I might be technically interviewing them. You know what I mean? Like, one of my blood brothers is really into, self-awareness and mental health and suicide prevention and stuff like that. So I like to be able to give them the platform to talk about that stuff, because
absolutely,
you don't never know, how often you might be the voice of somebody who may not feel like they can speak, or may not feel like they may feel like they're alone, right? So using this platform to do that is definitely important. Shout out to all the people tuning in. Y'all really appreciate your support. I know Robb Diggie support, you know what I mean?
Appreciate it, man. Nick Gibbs in the building. Shout out to Nick Gibbs, man. That's my guy, yo. That's my guy.
Nick Gibbs, salute. So what else you got planned with this, man? This podcast is dope.
Yeah.
I know you preparing for the Super Bowl, this weekend. I know you doing that, but how are you juggling, the podcast, the business part of it, and still, finding the time to be with your family and things like that? How are you juggling that?
I mean, I should ask you that, my brother, because I've seen your beautiful family as well. I mean, I think as I can look at it in a couple of different ways. Me as a father, I feel that it is my responsibility to make that balance, like to not make excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to make time for your family. But what I'm not very good at is making time for myself. So I'm not very good at work-life balance. I'm trying to get better at it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to like not go so hard in the paint in certain areas and try to relax. But yeah, man, it's tough, man. And I work a full-time job. I do podcasting, you know what I mean? And I got the kids and I'm taxiing around all over the place. The parents know what it is out there, running kids all over the place. But I think that it just for me, I'm speaking as a father. I don't give dads a pass, man. I don't, man. Like fathers got to handle their business. We already got a bad rap as it is, you know what I'm saying? So we need to handle our business and be there for our kids, man. So you got to find balance. You have no choice. You got to make it work, man. So, but if you're passionate about something, you got to try to fit it in like I am with hip hop and listening to you. and Underground Movers podcast, everything you got going on, man. Watching your platform grow. Last time I saw you, brother, we were doing phone calls, man. We on StreamYard, you know what I mean? Like
Right, right.
my man is stepping it up, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about progression, all about moving, motivating, and bringing everybody up around you, man. That's what it's about, man. But yeah, but talking about balance, yeah, man, it's tough, but it needs to be done. I'm saying for real.
I think one of the things, trying to juggle this business, is that your passions take a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, to blossom, to progress, right? For me, I have the Underground Movers podcast. I have the Ground Report with my business partner. I mean, hey, I started off as an artist. I still do my artist thing. This is all with
Word.
the music industry, right? But I have 4 kids. I'm a husband. I have 4 kids. Yeah, I work a full-time job too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
man.
24 hours in a day. Um, but we gotta make it work. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
my youngest son right now is in the room with his sister making a bunch of noise right now. He having fun. You know what I mean? But point is that I take the time to do this, and then I get back to the family thing. So
Yeah,
that's very important. So,
absolutely.
um, what's next, man? What is Robb Diggie planning on doing next? So how you plan? Is there any plans of growing any further? You and Jessica got some things going on that you wanna mention and all that good stuff.
Yeah, we always got stuff stirring in the pot, man. You already know what it is, man. We got season 5 on deck, man. Y'all look out for that trailer coming out on February 15th, which is next Tuesday on the channel. I can't announce the artist just yet, so we gonna let that sizzle for a little bit, but we got that coming out, and then season 5 will premiere on March 8th. We're gonna do another 16-week run, and we are in the 20 teens. We're going in the 20 teens, and so yeah, we got some significant shift in the culture of hip hop in the 20 teens. So we're definitely gonna be talking about that, some of the significant players in that culture, and so that's what's stirring in the pot right now, and still doing artist interviews. I just did an interview last week that just premiered today with Lil Kiki from Houston,
Right.
major player from the Screwed Up Click. Shout out to the Screwed Up Click, man. Rest in peace to DJ Screw. That whole Southern Click, man. So I mean, shout out to Lil Kiki, man. Just an incredible person, incredible guy. Humbled enough to sit and talk to me for a little bit, man. And it was really, really cool. Great interview. And yeah, we got some things on the horizon, but you know how it is, Shah. We can't talk about these things, man, until they
Yeah.
happen. So you know how it is, man. But yeah, we got some things starting in the pop, man. Season 5 is on its way. Really, really excited about that, man. Talking about the what I call the millennial season, because the 20 teens was all about the millennials, showing off their talent, showcasing their talent. And that's the thing about the progression of hip hop progresses. We started with the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s with you on there, you know what I mean? And now we into the 20 teens,
Right.
and we got some major players and how hip hop sounds, how hip hop looks, and it's great to talk about the progression, man. So I'm really, really excited about season 5, man, for real. Y'all support
I
that, man.
know. I know one of your seasons. Early on, you talked about because you passed it already, but I know you talked about Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. I
Yeah,
know you recently just heard the homie Snoop Dogg acquired Death Row. So
Death Row, yeah.
talk about what I mean, like what do you think about that, and you know what I mean, like how does that make you feel? I'll tell you what it does for me, but tell me
Yeah.
how you feel about
You know what, man? Like, yeah, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this. But for me, for Snoop Dogg
that.
to
Right.
own Death Row Records, man, like, is when you talk about coming full circle, that is exactly what that is. The man, if I remember correctly, he joined what is it, Death Row.
Death Row.
Was Death Row's probably major star, and people forget. I mean, Shaw, people forget how big Snoop Dogg was, man. Snoop Dogg was probably the most anticipated rapper to ever come out in hip hop. I really want y'all to think about this, man. In 1993, when Doggy Style came out, that was everywhere, man. I sure hardly believe that. So for him to leave Death Row, learn the business side, go with P, go independent, do some other stuff, and then come back and own Death Row Records, man. Like I really hope that Snoop brings it back, like brings it back strong, like, and doesn't come back with all the craziness and everything that comes with it. Like he really changes it up, man. So I think it's a great opportunity. And what I would like to see him do with it, Shah, is bring back the West Coast of hip hop, man. Bring it back, man. I know it's been a while. I know we lost some soldiers, man, but I would love to see Snoop be the OG to the young cats out there that's hungry and rebuild Death Row with some fresh talent, man. I think that'd be awesome, man. But I would love to hear your take on that as well, my brother.
Um, man, I was excited when I heard that.
Word.
My wife heard it first, and she walked up to me and was like, "Hold up," you know what I mean? But um, when I was young, 93, I was 13,
Yeah.
right? So telling my age, but
Yeah,
93,
yeah, yeah. Come
I
on,
was
man.
saying,
We in the same bracket. You good, man?
I was 13. So I had three albums at that particular time. Um, one I forget what the third one was, but the first one was Method Man to Cal. Like I had
Okay.
what I'm saying, in
Okay.
that time frame. Um, Next one was Doggy Style.
Yeah.
Um, but I heard a whole bunch. I heard Snoop off of the Chronic album.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When I heard Snoop, I felt like, okay, this dude's from the West, but why he sound like he from out here? Just the
Yeah.
way he was flowing, it was different. And then growing up, um, really learning the business, and how he was coming up in it, and how he didn't really make no money except for the shows and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And then coming full circle, like you said, from
Yeah,
being
man.
an artist on a label to turn around owning the same label that put him in the position to own the
Word.
label, right?
Word.
So that goes to show that you keep your head down, you consistently mind your business, and you keep grinding. You gonna get what you want. And he talked about it like, give me Death Row, like you know what I mean, like who else better to own it, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I'm really excited to see what that comes, how that comes full circle. And this artist out there right now, be like, damn, I want to sign a Death Row. Don't even know
Word,
nothing
man.
about it, but because Snoop, what I mean, they understand who Snoop is, who's right now a household name. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, who don't know Snoop? You know what I mean? Like, who don't? So,
Yeah,
but
man.
yeah,
I'm
man.
excited, man. I just want to see. I want to see Snoop bring back, rebuild the West Coast, man. That's what I want him to do with that platform, man. That'd be dope for the culture, for real, man. That's what I love to see that if
So
he can pull it off.
one question I always ask to anybody I talk to, because it's
All right.
relevant no matter what it is. What do you feel like your definition of grind is?
My definition of grind, man. Grind is passion. You know what I'm saying? Grind is hours learning your craft, hours of listening. So as a podcast, our podcast about hip hop. If I'm doing a show on Fabulous, I'm listening to every single piece of music this man ever created, so I can have a background knowledge, so I am prepared,
Right.
grinding, getting ready for the show. So grinding to me is a mind state, man. It's either you have it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
can't teach grind. You can show work ethic, you can show grind, but to me, grinding is about passion, bro. That's what it means to me, man. It's all about passion, man.
Right.
Oh, I
Right.
gotta have that passion, that grit. You know what I'm saying? That stuff that people the grind is like, you know what I mean? Like stuff that people don't want to do, that you're gonna do it. You're gonna go the extra mile and take it
Right.
further
Right.
than the person that either had it before you or you blaze your own trail. So that's what I think grind is about, man. It's about passion, bro.
Right. I mean, I agree with you, man. Um, for me, the grind would be, playing those multiple hats. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Like, I might interview you. I might be the interviewer. I might be the editor. I might be the, what I mean? Like, yeah, I might be the radio person. I might do drops. I might do this. The point is that the job got to get done. You get what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So however the job got to get done, and how many different hats I got to wear to make sure that job is done, it's gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's consistent. Listen, man, let everybody know, how they can get to you on social media, all that good stuff, man.
Man, you can find me. My IG was hacked last year, so my IG got a small following, but it's got a big heart right now. Rob underscore Diggy underscore. I'm sorry, the underscore Rob underscore Diggy underscore A2, or the real Rob Diggy with all the underscores. The main page is Diggy A2. Jessica Dalby is on there as well on Instagram. The website is diggy82.com. And the podcast itself is the Diggie2, the progression of hip hop. Really, really easy to find. Diggiea2, just like it is on the hat. Real catchy, real easy to find. We're on all the streaming platforms, Apple, Google, iHeart, man, Pandora, you name it, we there, man. So y'all go out support it, man, straight up.
Yo, I appreciate you, joining. Any shout outs you got to the peoples out there?
Oh man, man, shout outs, man. Shout out to everybody that's listening and watching right now. Shout out to Nick Gibbs, who was actually on the Snoop Dogg episode that we talked about. So shout out to Nick Gibbs in the building. Yeah, man. Nick Gibbs, an incredible talent. Shaw, you need to holler at Nick, man. So I'm throwing that plug in there for Nick. Incredible talent, bro. He's definitely the future of hip hop. Shout out to my boy AJ in the building, who was also on the show, man. Mad love to AJ. AJ was on my season 1. And when we were just trying to figure things out, and AJ was a superior hip hop mind, is AJ's, man. So, man, shout out to AJ. Shout out to my family. Shout out to Jess. Shout out to the kids. Shout out to my grandkids. And shout out to every single guest that I've had on the Diggie A2 platform and everybody in the future to come, man. And I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Shout out to Shah Cypha, man. Shah, you got to bring them Freestyle Wednesdays back, my dude. Them shits is mean, man. They are so mean, my dude. You got to bring them back.
I was thinking about season 2 of the Freestyle Wednesdays. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go to shahcypha.com or just go to @ShahCypha on Instagram and just go to my IGTV. I did 10 Freestyle Wednesdays on some industry beats that I really mess with. But season 2, I got some things coming with that. I might just do something like you and focus on a specific year or a specific market of beats, right? So, I kind of mixed it up the first time. I might go to Atlanta and just mess with Atlanta beats, or I might go to Memphis and mess with them, or might hit up Death Row because they just pop it. I might just, so it really depends, but we got a lot going on. The Blood Brothers, dropping 222. I got Raw Stories dropping March 22. Just trying to do some big things, man. But shout out to everybody who's been supporting my business partner on here, Tampa Mystic, and anybody that's coming in. I'm putting these comments up here so they know what's really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Appreciate the love, everybody. Shout out to everybody, man, tuned in right now. Show my man Shah Cypha some love, man. This is big, man. This is mad love, yo, for real.
Listen, if y'all just tuned it in and you missed it, within the next 24 hours, this will be on that YouTube, as well as we're going to take this audio and we're going to throw it on our other podcast platforms so you can hear it on, like he said, the iHearts, the Spotify's, the Apple Music and all that. So you get a chance to tune in. Underground Movers. Listen, we got a mobile app for the Ground Report. So the Ground Report, if you don't know, is the bigger platform that me and my business partner own. That really housed Underground Movers, Industry's Most Wanted, our radio stations, our magazine, the Grind Report, Grind with a Y, the Grind Report Media Group. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about music. The Grind Report Media Group. So go to your Apple, your App Store, your Google Play, type that in, you'll see it. And you may be able to see this right now. You know what I'm saying? On live. So shout out to everybody that's been supporting. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to go back to the business. Whoever win the Super Bowl, I appreciate you. Y'all not the Giants. I know the Giants ain't doing too well.
Ain't the Falcons. I feel
you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Salute everybody. I'm on it.